Imagine something like this, but for makeup application. Technology is ever evolving, and there is a category of products slowly appearing in a variety of places. Interactive mirrors. Smart mirrors are being used for fitness to give you a personal trainer and a live fitness class in your home. They're even evolving to be in stores where you could scan a product barcode and see the item right in the mirror. And yes, they are coming for our beauty space. I came across this story in my feed last week, and I thought it deserved its own segment by itself because I feel like it really speaks to where we are in the beauty industry, how things are evolving, and what products we need and don't need, and which one is which, and how do we tell? Our beauty space is constantly evolving, and how we interact with it is changing, and I'm so curious what you think about this. But in preparation for that, I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about your current makeup skills, about your ability to apply makeup in a way that you like? And in that, are you interested in learning new ways to do your makeup? If you are happy with the way you do your makeup and your current techniques, hang tight for a second because I have another question for the other group, people that are not happy. What is stopping you from improving your makeup skills, from learning more? Is it that the tutorials that you watch are too hard to follow, or you can't get it to look right on your face, or that you just don't have the products you need in order to do it? Or do you just not have time to learn how to do your makeup in a different way? So here's the proposal from a brand new company. What if your makeup mirror, the one that sits on your desk, taught you how to do makeup for your face? Jacqueline Rach is the founder of a new company that is developing an AI smart mirror called Primer. And she got the idea for this as she was getting ready for a wedding, and she was trying to follow a tutorial of this green smoky eye. Long story short, she spends about 45 minutes on it, and she doesn't have time to take it off, and it looks terrible, and she goes to the wedding, and she's so embarrassed of the pictures that were taken of her because her makeup looked terrible because the tutorial that she was following, she couldn't replicate it on her own face. So she started doing some research. And she found that 60% of women that she surveyed said they couldn't replicate tutorials on their faces. That gave her the idea for this smart mirror. In June of 2024, Jacqueline quits her job at Bloomingdale's. She was their director of business strategy, and she quits in order to build this mirror. It's based on augmented reality and artificial intelligence, and it basically maps your face and suggests looks specifically for your face. It gives you makeup tutorials appropriate for your features, preferences, and skill level, and guides you through makeup application, including guiding you if you make a mistake. Enter another major player in the story. His name is Brad Augustine, and he was the mind behind the tech of a company called Mirror. You may have seen this before. It's a home fitness mirror that was acquired by Lululemon in 2020.
When you look into the mirror, what do you see? A chance to grow stronger. An opportunity to push yourself. Room to beat your best. The mirror is a window to a fitness experience the world has never seen before. No matter who you are or where you are, the mirror lets you work out with world-class trainers in live or on-demand classes, complete with encouragement when you need it, or don't think you need it.
You've got this.
Measure your progress, work out with friends, and when you're done, show off your achievements. Because that was hard.
Amazing job today, guys.
But worth it. No wait lists, no crowded parking lots. Just your home, the mirror, and you.
As a side note, to gain more traction, Lululemon has actually recently partnered with Peloton, and if you are one of their Studio Mirror All Access members, you can now access Peloton, their bank of classes, through your smart mirror. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with this, and I was trying to find the price of this to compare with what they're saying the price of this beauty mirror is. It was hard to find because things that are expensive like this, sometimes they hide the price from you. This is what I found, that it's $1,000 base price for this mirror plus tax and a minimum of a $28 per month membership. If you want that all access membership, that's $39 a month, and you have to sign up for 12 months ahead of time, aka $468. So this guy, the guy that developed the tech behind Mirror, is the one that's developing the tech behind Primer. I found a fantastic interview with Jacqueline, and I want to play you some clips from that interview. The first one is Jacqueline explaining what the Mirror is and what you get out of it.
When all the women are doing their makeup there, we really didn't want to change their behavior. We didn't want them to have to go and look in an app because they're simply not doing that now. Those kinds of apps exist to actually do your makeup, and TikTok has all kinds of filters to help you do your eyebrows. But those are more gimmicks and people are not actually using them. So we really wanted to show up where the customer was and have this augmented reality on the mirror. So it's going to be like magic where you look into the mirror and it's going to look like on your face there is a guidance system where you can literally know where you're supposed to apply the makeup and how. So it's going to have some kind of graphical indication to show you if you're blending, blend this way. If you're tapping, tap this way. The goal is really to teach people how they should be applying their makeup, with the ultimate goal of having the user be more confident. Because at the end of the day, it's not tech for tech's sake. It's really to achieve this end goal and to kind of fix a problem that's been happening, where there's this big divide between the content you see online and the user's ability to replicate it in their home.
There's also an article in Beauty Independent down below that gives more details. For example, they shared that even though it's just in the prototype phase, they have some plans for what they want to offer. And the first thing they'll offer you is, as soon as you open your mirror and you've got your subscription, you get 10 tutorials off the jump. And then you will get 2 monthly makeup tutorials that will be added on every single month. Along with that, you can buy premium content from influencers. Enter the next characters in our story: influencers and influencer marketing. For example, let's say you're Michaela Noguera, right? You've got all these tutorials. You upload your bank of tutorials into the Mirror system, and everybody that buys your tutorial through the Mirror, you get a commission. And instead of just following a tutorial from a video, as you're looking into the mirror, it shows you how to apply that tutorial to your exact face shape, your eye shape, your cheekbones, your lips, all of that. In the article, they also mentioned that users would be able to upload their own tutorials to Primer. As part of the dream for the mirror, Jacqueline also talks about the community aspect of it.
We're trying to play in that milieu where it's really about beauty enthusiasts coming together and rallying around looks and ideas and swapping tips, swapping product recommendations, um, and going out again into the real world or the physical world outside of a tech world, um, and really feeling great about how they look.
One concern I personally had from the beginning of this is that I've seen beauty tech come and go over the years, and one of the things that has been a problem in the past is that a lot of this technology is specifically designed for people of lighter skin tones. And I was concerned that maybe this would not be inclusive. Here's Jacqueline to talk about that.
From a more fundamental bias perspective, we're also trying to have the technology tested on as many different face shapes, skin tones as possible, because we want to make sure that we're as inclusive as possible. Same thing with the content that we are going to have in our library. It's so important that you see yourself in the content on the library. We're saying that we can turn any look from one person into the other, but that doesn't mean we want all the starting looks to come on the same type of person. We actually want a huge number of, different types of content creators from different backgrounds who have really different looks, really different makeup techniques to be featured there as well.
As a whole, as Jacqueline's talking about this technology to beauty independent, she says this quote, and it's very, very interesting. She says that the patented technology combines the hardware power of Mirror, the content creator economy of OnlyFans, and the product engine of ShopMy in one place, with the idea that for makeup right now, everything is disparate. Discovery, purchasing, mastery, all of those things happen in different places. We're putting them all into one place, the most comfortable place for women, which is a traditional analog mirror in their home. Because yes, this is not just a place to buy tutorials, you will also be able to buy products through it. And as I was reading that quote, I was like, analog mirror, like, is there a digital mirror? Is that like a thing? I think all mirrors are kind of analog, right? Like, what do you mean a digital mirror? And then I was thinking, this mirror back here is in a way kind of a digital mirror. It's by Impressions Vanity, and it's got like some tech in here. It's got a clock, and you can listen to the radio through it, even though I never use that feature. But there's no like digital thing happening the way that it's happening within this mirror. I also have my Ilios mirror that was sent to me quite a long time ago that I love. Some people might consider this to be a digital mirror in that it's got a bunch of settings with the cool, the warm, the blend. You can adjust the brightness. That's the only thing I can think of as far as like a digital mirror goes. But this is a whole different level.
There's a ton of smart mirrors out there, but what they do is they actually override your image with a streaming video blasting through the mirror. What we're doing is significantly more challenging from a technology perspective, which is having only that masking layer and only that graphical indicator on your true reflection in a mirror. And I think really that's so important for the makeup experience. Why do all these women do their makeup in an analog mirror? Why do people sit, in front of their door with their mirror, or like sit at their, counter, sit in their bathroom?
Find the best light. You find the
Yeah.
best light and you go perch.
So we're bypassing all of that. And something else to consider is stickiness of things that are actually in your home. We're trying to build a routine around it.
But they aren't done with the features. Oh no, this also is supposed to adapt to the user. So depending on your skill level and how you complete the tutorials, how well you do, it starts bumping up the difficulty if you would like, and tells you, hey, you're ready for a level 3 look or whatever it may be.
Responsive AI is how you respond, grow, learn with the customer. So, using that kind of technology is going to enable us to have memory about the customer, learn more about the customer, and then tailor these tutorials to her needs.
I see. I see. Okay. So it's going to build on the user and create and be customized and personalized to that user and their frequency or whatever their goals are. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know what some of you are thinking, data collection. Because I have one of the smartest audiences on the entirety of the internet, I would dare to say. Data collection. So they've thought of that as well. They say that Primer won't be using data for commercial gain, that they won't sell users information, they won't sell images from the mirror. Jacqueline said specifically, quote, "We're going to be in people's bathrooms. I think we have to be extra careful about what data we're collecting and what we're sharing." Like I was alluding to before, Jacqueline also wants to incorporate a gamification of sorts, where users would get perks for participation, and she hopes that communities are going to emerge through the use of Primer.
I'm wearing my Aura Ring. I'm probably not the average Aura Ring user. I actually don't check my stats in my app that often. But when it's like 11 p.m. and I'm doom scrolling at night, I think to myself, oh no, my stats are going to go down if I don't go to bed now, because it's actually a physical reminder on my being that I should be, doing the behavior that would get me good statistics on this app. And so I think there's something to be said
Interesting.
about something being present in your real life that actually changes your interaction with it.
Primer has a fundraising goal of securing $8 million to bring the mirror to market. For the business overall, they anticipate it becoming profitable roughly 2.5 years out, so a while out. It's important to note that Primer is only in the prototype phase for right now, and they're looking to launch this at the end of 2027 or early 2028. Okay, time for my mom in my basement honest opinion. I love their ambition, but I don't think this is going to work, at least the way that they have it planned. Let's go back to the very first question that I asked you. Are you happy with the way that you're currently doing your makeup? I would dare to say that the vast majority of people watching this would answer that yes. Most people that wear makeup have some way that they do makeup that they're relatively happy with. And if you're not happy with the way you're currently doing your makeup, how much are you willing to spend to learn? The primer mirror is estimated to cost the customer between $500 and $1,000. Along with that, they're talking about also adding on a subscription that would be most likely somewhere around $5.99 a month. And if your jaw dropped, mine did too, but think about it. Think about how much money they're investing in this technology. I don't see how they could lower the price all that much, at least based on my mom in my basement knowledge of this kind of industry. It seems like there's a reason why it's this expensive. And in that is a major flaw in this plan. Realistically, let's talk about makeup users. Let's say we hit the middle, $750 upfront, and what you get is 10 tutorials, 2 new tutorials a month. Is that worth it? Along with that, the mirror is constantly going to be selling you things, tutorials, and products. And that being said, I don't think the vast majority of makeup users need or want this in their houses. I don't think the vast majority of people can afford to have something like this in their house. In theory, cool. Yes, absolutely. Give me 5 of them to give as gifts for the holidays. Absolutely. But in reality, 2025? I don't know about this. But things could change in the next 2 years before Primer launches. We just don't know. Because what happens once you've played with those 10 tutorials and then you're getting these 2 tutorials a month and maybe you're not interested in those 2 tutorials? Like, I can see a very quick unsubscribe rate and people looking at their mirrors and saying, why did I buy this? So instead, allow me to present an alternate option for Primer. How about instead of selling it direct to customers, you sell it to a store like Sephora? Hear me out. So you go into Sephora and you know that area where they have the makeup artists doing makeup? Instead, you have the mirrors set up, the primer mirrors. And maybe there's no fee to use them. Maybe you have to have a minimum of purchase of like maybe $10 or $20 at Sephora in order to use the mirror. And then you have the makeup artists, the people who are typically applying the makeup, you have them as guides for the people using the mirror. You have them going around and getting the products to give to the customers as they try it on, making sure everything is clean and sanitary. As the customer puts the makeup on themselves so they feel like they can have some success. Then they take the makeup, they purchase it at Sephora, and they leave with their bag knowing how to use it, not just seeing it applied by someone else. And then once it's in stores for a while, then maybe, just maybe, they start selling it to the customers to take home. It's in the stores, it's online, but the major feature is using it within the store. They could still keep their influencer marketing aspect of it. There still could be influencers who are uploading through Mirror, but there wouldn't be a charge to the customer. There will be a charge to Sephora to have this bank of influencers. The influencers then could get commission on the products they sold within the store. As far as the community aspect, I don't think that's going to work at all. There is a reason why Makeup Alley died. There is a reason why I don't see anybody talking about the communities within Sephora, the communities within Ulta, these online communities that people keep trying to build, these companies keep trying to build them, and people just aren't using them en masse. Of course you have people using them, hundreds of people using them, but remember, the only people, if we're selling this direct to consumer, we're selling this mirror just to people that can afford a $750 mirror or whatever it is, plus the subscription, you're cutting down the number of people that could possibly participate in this community, and then you cut it down more for people that would even want to participate in a community. I would doubt there will be enough people to actually make a community out of it. In the end, I just feel like this direct-to-consumer is going to be a flop. That's just my opinion, because I do have experience with a mirror kind of like this. It was called Hi Mirror, and they sent me one in 2016 to try out. Here's a clip from my review.
All right, welcome to my morning routine. So ever since I got the Hi Mirror, this is what I do when I wake up in the morning. I push the button on the side, and sometimes I do a little dance, and that's for real. So I didn't want you to have to miss out on that. So there you go. So it says Hi Mirror, and you wait just a minute for it to load. After the Hi Mirror loads, it tells you the time, and then it actually loads your weather for the day. Now, for some reason, it always says 75 degrees until it goes to the next screen. At this point, this is when you open up the mirror, and it does do facial recognition here so that only you can get into your information. So now it has the correct temperature, which was 0 degrees Celsius. I was playing with it on my phone on the app and accidentally switched it to Celsius, but you can have it on Fahrenheit. It's very easy to do. That's the way it came loaded. I was just kind of messing around. So here is the news updates. If you don't want to see the news updates, you just kind of have to, once you see the screen, go ahead and swipe right away. It'll give you beauty tips, and then it'll give you the most important news stories that are happening in the world. It also gives you links to skincare advice at different skincare websites. If you want to see more about the news, you can swipe and you can kind of flip through the different important news stories for the day. As you can see, I'm using hand gestures to control this. This is a no-touch product, so you do not need to touch anything in order to change things on the mirror. You use hand gestures. The sensor is that little circle on the right at the bottom, I believe. That's how you can tell it what you want it to do. So now I'm trying to get out of the news and go into the skincare analysis for the day. So it's asking me if it wants to do me to do the skincare analysis, and all I have to do is go up to the mirror, put my face in the little guide, do the push motion, and the light comes on and it snaps a picture of my face. And then it asks me, is that what I want? Do I like the picture? When I swipe to the right, that's yes. And then it starts analyzing the picture for red spots, for wrinkles, for fine lines, for brightness, for clarity, dark spots, things like that. So there is my skincare analysis for the day, and it tells me how I'm doing on each section. And then when I swipe, when it listens to me, it tells me about each section and what it all means. It also tracks the progress through time. So that's my week of progress in that area. And that's my progress in all the areas. So it marks all of my red spots and all of my dark spots, my dark circles, my fine lines, my pores, and my wrinkles. And it gives you a score for how you're doing. It gives you a percentage. Oh, and then there's complexion. So if I swipe here when I get on this screen, it'll show you my very first scan, and then it'll show you the scan from today. So you can see any visible differences. Because my skin doesn't have a lot of things that I need to correct, there isn't really a whole lot of difference between the first scan and the scan for today. Actually, my dark circles look a little bit worse than at the beginning. I don't know why. I'm going to go into some of the other features. So this is my beauty box, and this is where you can track your skincare and kind of keep track of when you started using it. And it's just a way to kind of keep track of what you have. Now, I have been having some trouble entering in specific information about each product, but at least it has allowed me to take a picture of each item so I know what I was using on what days. So that way, over time, you can kind of track your changes. And if you're using this for 6 months, you can look and see the difference between what you're using now and what you were using back then, and see, maybe you need to go back to some older products. So this is where you can see the record of your skincare. So it tells me, I only put one of these into the app, one of these products. So it tells you how your skin has changed since you've been using that product. So I just did that 2 days ago. So there isn't much data there, but you can see how it would track it over time.
Of course, the High Mirror was a different concept. It was different technology. It had a different purpose. But as a user of this High Mirror, I thought it was so cool to start off with. I was going to be using it to help to guide my skincare reviews because it was going to show me the changes in my skin. And I will tell you, after a few months of using it, it was just a mirror. I never turned the thing on anymore. Besides it being clunky to use, it just wasn't giving me valuable information. And with that, it didn't even require a subscription. You just turned it on and used it. And speaking of subscriptions, y'all, people do not want more subscriptions. I'm just saying there's so many subscriptions out there that there are services, literal services that help you to cancel subscriptions because we forget that we have. Nobody wants any more subscriptions. And these kinds of products where you get your value out of them quickly and slowly lose interest or quickly lose interest become extremely expensive paperweights, and they become moments of regret for the customer. And that's the last thing that you want for a brand new brand, is for the customer to invest so much money with so much hope and so much excitement only to be disappointed and feeling like they were duped into buying something that they didn't need. Because what happens to the customer when they've learned everything they feel like they needed to learn from the mirror? They're going to turn it off and they're going to cancel their subscription and they're going to have a $750 mirror and feeling like they were duped. I feel like these are huge obstacles that Primer is going to have to face, and I hope that they are able to navigate them easily. I do think that they have something here. I just feel like the direction might be a little out of touch with the actual beauty consumer. But again, I could be wrong, because this is where you come in. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Is this a product that you would be interested in, that you think could help you to improve your makeup skills enough that you would be willing to invest in it along with a subscription? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I appreciate you watching. I hope that you found it interesting and valuable and helpful. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Jen. I do cosmetic industry news here. And if you enjoyed this video and enjoy content like this, make sure you subscribe. That way I don't get lost in the YouTube of it all and all of the content. And it's easy to find my videos in your subscription feed. Plus, it makes me look really cool. My subscriber numbers go up. So I appreciate that as well. And with that being said, if you'd like to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending 2 videos over here for you. The bottom one I'm going to pick out for you that I think you're going to love. The top one is going to be one that YouTube's going to pick based on videos you've been watching recently. But if you got to go, I get it. It is no problem. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you. I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.